There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. There goes a sight from my soul. I think a tall angel just walked by. 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 There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my there goes a sight. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my soul.
One, two, three, jump!
Get wild.
Chiefs Kingdom. It's time for All Chiefed Up with your hosts, Steve and Mike Williams.
You're listening to All Chiefed Up, the best damn Kansas City Chiefs podcast in the kingdom.
Chiefs Kingdom, what's up, baby? No Gray here, tight end for your Kansas City Chiefs. You're listening to All Chiefed Up with Mike and Steve Williams.
What is happening, Chiefs Kingdom? King Felix it is in round one, man. Mike, what do you think about it, baby?
Dude, we waited all night long. It was a crazy draft. We just had to get on here tonight and talk to you guys. We figured it was pretty late, but we wanted to get on here and talk to you. Dude, it was crazy. There was a lot of reaches in round one we'll talk about. There was a lot of players we didn't think would be there. At one point, I didn't think there was going to be any players on the board for us to take, considering how many people we were bringing in for visits and things. But King Felix, Steve, we actually mocked him to us in the first mock draft we ever did.
Yeah.
All Chiefed Up 1.0, we put King Felix. We decided to go a different route yesterday when we released our other ones. But King Felix, man, we've been saying, Steve, he's a fit in Kansas City.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, King Felix is what I've been saying is the most polished pass rusher in this draft class. I think he's ready to plug and play. He starts everything from his bull rush, but he's got a lot of other stuff in that arsenal, man. I'm super excited about it. You guys get in the comments, let us know how you're feeling about King Felix, and also let us know how this audio is, since we're just kind of crammed up here with this one microphone. Never really done this before, so I want to make sure you guys are hearing everything okay out there. So what's going on with everybody? Braden Duffy, he says Felix went to his high school. That's awesome, man. Lee Summit, I'm assuming. I don't know where King Felix went, but I think that's probably it. Matt Vanway, what's going on, my man?
What's up, Matt? What's up, man?
Good to see you. Chiefs Alcoholic, let's go, boys. Yeah, dude. I mean, you can't ask for much more out of this first round, in my opinion. I think that's a solid pick. No one could be mad at it. It was nothing flashy, but I think it was a solid, smart pick by Brett Veach.
Yeah, I think he done what he had to do. I kind of thought he was going to go Adebore there because of the athleticism.
Yeah.
But King Felix makes a lot of sense. We need that edge rusher. Like we said, Frank Clark is probably not coming back. We're probably not going to get back Dunlap. So we needed somebody to go with Karlaftis. I think he could do it. He's a strong guy. He centers everything around his bull rush. King Felix is exactly what we need. He can also anchor that edge on the run game. So I think he's straight up a Spags guy. I think it was a good pick. I think we had a home run.
Yeah, for sure. What's going on, William? Good to see you, man. Says solid night one. Tomorrow things get really interesting. And that is so true, man. Lots of things could be on the table tomorrow. Don't be surprised if you see Brett Veach start moving these draft boards, because there's some guys sitting there that he could definitely want to go after. If we're looking at wide receiver, Josh Downs and Jalen Hyatt is still out there. Both super athletic, Brett Veach, Andy Reid type guys, and they could definitely target one of them and try to move up. What do you think about that, Mike?
Yeah, I think Jalen Hyatt could. We give Jalen Hyatt hell on here, believe me. But we said with Andy Reid, Jalen Hyatt could find a niche in that offense, and he may be able to do good things with Kansas City. So if we was to trade up the board for him or Josh Downs, I wouldn't be surprised. Then again, Brett Veach, it was actually reported tonight, Steve, that Brett Veach tried to trade up with Dallas at pick 25, I think, and they turned him down. I kind of wonder who the target was. It was pick 26. Dallas ended up taking Mozzie Smith, defensive tackle. He's basically a nose tackle out of Michigan. Solid guy. I kind of wonder who we were trying to move up to take there. Was it Mozzie Smith? I find it hard to believe we tried to trade Dallas for their player.
Possibly Mozzie Smith is a super athletic defensive tackle,
but
it could have been Anton Harrison.
Yep.
That's where I was going with it. Anton Harrison was the last tackle left in the draft. We've talked about how Anton Harrison would be a pretty good fit for us just because he's a left tackle. If the Jawan Taylor experiment doesn't work out, it would have been nice to have Anton Harrison there playing right tackle in case you need to slide him over and move on from that experiment. So that could have been what they were doing, but either way, I think it worked out in their favor. I think they actually got a better pass rusher than the Bengals did at pick 28. They took Miles Murphy. I would prefer Felix over him. So I think they got a pretty good deal, in my opinion, man. I'm pretty happy with it. Cole, he says Felix is a beast. So happy with this pick. Absolutely, man. Same here. Jan, what's going on, Jan?
What's up, Jan?
Good to see you. She says, what's wrong with the Cardinals? I don't know what's wrong with the Cardinals, but, I totally nailed that pick with Paris Johnson. I knew that's who they wanted. I was telling Mike for the last 2 days that they want Paris Johnson, and I thought they might just try to take him at 3, but it was smarter for them to trade back. But they also had to trade back up to grab him because they were afraid he was going to get snaked out from under him.
Hey,
So.
the craziest thing of the night was the Texans picking number 2 and then trading back up to number 3. Have you seen that in the draft in the last 20 years? A team picked 2 and 3. They basically give up their entire draft this year and next year for Will Anderson Jr., who, don't get me wrong, he's a good edge rusher.
Very good.
But I don't think he's that good that you give up your draft for 2 full years. I don't think he's that solid. So the Texans, I think the Texans reached a little bit. Speaking of reaches, Steve, Darnell Wright goes in the top 10 to Chicago.
Man.
That was a pick we were talking about the Chiefs possibly getting at 31, maybe trading up into the lower 20s to get. But at number 10, what is Ryan Poles and Chicago doing? They're basically just stealing Brett Veach's draft board.
I don't know, man. I actually thought we were going to get Darnell Wright at 31. I had no idea that he was going to go that high. I kind of had a little bit of a hunch that he could, though, because on my final mock draft for just the first round, before I decided that he was going to go to KC at 31, I actually had him going number 12, or was it a 12 or 11 to the Tennessee Titans. So I wasn't too far off there, but it still would have not imagined it actually happening. That's why I went back and changed it. So pretty crazy. It's 9:35 here. What time is it there? Man, it is what? 12:40 a.m.
12:40 a.m.
So we out here doing the Lord's work in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
But we're pretty pumped about this
Hey.
draft, man. It's been pretty cool.
We fought for our right to party. We're partying. We're still going. What do you guys think about Travis Kelce and Mahomes kicking off draft night? People were saying it was tacky. I
not
think they're just
tacky.
a bunch of haters, bro.
It is. They're just haters. You got to rub it in a little bit. I mean, why not? They're in your house. They have to deal with it.
And then
Whatever you want to do.
We brought out the hardware there for the last pick. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
What's going on, Bald C? Said Houston just turned the entire franchise around. Possibility. That was some strong moves, and I think they're in a place where they have to be a little risky. I kind of thought they were going to go after Anthony Richardson because instead of taking the safe play with C.J. Stroud, I thought they would go after that really athletic, high-ceiling guy.
Yeah. C.J. Stroud is solid. Is he going to be – he's probably going to be about as good as Justin Fields. And you got to look at the team around him. It's still the Texans. He's going to struggle. And like I said, I don't think Will Anderson Jr. is a franchise changer right there. They said they didn't even expect him to get double-digit sacks. And then they're going to come out and do that. So who knows? I think they may have give up too much there, but time will tell. What do you guys think of Jahmyr Gibbs going number 12 to the Lions? That seemed pretty rich. But again, the Chiefs were looking to take him, Steve, at 31. If he'd have sat there, I firmly believe we'd have took Jahmyr Gibbs.
It's not surprising. If he would have been there at 31, we would have took him, no doubt about it. He's that one of a kind. You don't get that guy very often. He's Jamal Charles made over. We all know that Brett Veach and Andy Reid like their bells and whistles. They like those kind of guys. And I think they would have went after it because we're not in a position where we have to take anybody. Let's get that straight. I think the Chiefs are in a really good position in this draft because they can go for best player available a lot because there's nothing that we absolutely 100% have to have where it's life or death. So I think they're in that. Cole, what's going on, my man? You said that was a guy you wanted. I'm assuming you're talking about Felix. Yeah, Felix, I've been in love with Felix since early on. I actually did a short about him months ago. And he's kind of been my guy since. Absolutely loving it.
Steve, it is 12:49 a.m. where we're at, and there's 100 people in this live right now. Chiefs Kingdom is crazy.
Chiefs Kingdom's
You guys
awesome.
are insane. Did any of you guys in the chat actually go to Union Station and see the draft? Are you guys like watching us on the drive home? I'm kind of curious to see, what happened, how it was there, man. It looked super packed, but hey, it was nowhere near as packed as it was for that Super Bowl championship, celebration.
So what's going on, Invincible? He says Felix will be what Frank Clark was supposed to be when we traded for him. I feel confident in that.
Dude, let's hope.
I think so. I think you're going to get more out of Felix in the long run. Obviously, he's a rookie. Frank's getting older, so I'm good with that exchange right there. It's not a big deal.
Dude, Felix has a beautiful bull rush, and he plays off of that. If he develops a few more pass rushing moves, that kid's going to be something to deal with. I actually think he'll get just as many sacks or more than Karlaftis did in his rookie year.
Yeah, for sure. Shaft, what's going on, my man? How many second-round picks do we have? Just one.
We got one.
Just one, but we do have, 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 6th?
Yes.
So I think that we will move around these boards, so I would fully expect...
Brett Veach, round 2, likes to move up for receivers, Steve.
Right.
We've seen that time and time again.
So keep your eyes open for a trade-up for Jalen Hyatt or Josh Downs tomorrow, guys.
Jalen Hyatt's a name. And again, we give him hell, But, hey... We'll take anybody.
It is what it is. I think that Jalen Hyatt will be excellent in an Andy Reid offense.
Yep.
Outside of Andy Reid and the Chiefs, I think he would have been a bust, but he could be good with the Chiefs just because we know what they can get done. Jack, what's going on, my man?
What's up, man?
Good to see you. Very happy. Glad you guys are okay. One sick, one drinking spoiled milk, all on a good night. Look, Mike's sacrificing again. He's right here beside me, sick.
I am.
So,
This got sick, and I've just recovered from the spoiled milk. So, Eagles tears, baby.
Hey, what's going on, American? How you doing?
What's up, man?
Scott Crosser in the house says, I like Felix, solid pick at position of need. Let's freaking go. Yeah, no kidding, man. Let's freaking go is right. I'm pretty pumped about it, man. I've been on Felix since way back, and I think that it was a great pick. I wish we kind of moved off of it a little bit because everybody kind of jumped on that Felix bandwagon. So we were like, man, everyone's saying Felix in the first round. What if they, you know how Brett Veach is? What if he goes with like more of a Adabore or somebody like that? That's, somebody people aren't expecting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's why I
it
did
is
it.
what it is.
I thought he could play down on the inside too, and they would like that. I think Felix could possibly kick inside as well, but that's what Charles O'Menahue was brought in for. Veach already said that, so.
Yeah, David Howe, he says he was the next edge player up on RGR's draft board, I think. Yeah, I
He was
think
ours.
everybody's, man. That's right around target where he was going to go was the end of the first round. So
We had him right in front of Keon White, so I was holding my breath because Chiefs
Right.
Kingdom did not want Keon White, and I was sitting there thinking, guys, we
Oh.
better take NUDK.
yeah, I'm so much better with King Felix as opposed to Keon White. Let's see. William says really good weapons still available.
Lots of weapons available.
Yeah, I
Got
think
kicked
so.
out.
Gotta get this camera right. It likes to go crazy and get too bright when there's two faces. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Don't be surprised. Look out for that trade up tomorrow. Brett Veach loves getting wide receivers in the second round. He's not been shy about that if you look at his past in the past few drafts. So I think that he could be looking at someone really athletic like Jalen Hyatt or a really good receiver like Josh Downs. So don't be surprised there. American says y'all think we go Mingo instead. That's a possibility.
Mingo would be great.
Mingo was actually our dark horse pick for the second round. Let's see, what did we actually pick for the second round? Which is kind of busted now because we took Felix. I had them taking Isaiah Foskey in the second round, which they're not going to do now. They're not going to double dip back to back, I don't think. I can't remember what you had, Mike.
I had him taking Cam Smith, corner. He's still on the board. That's still a possibility.
Right, but our dark horse picks for the second round was a trade up for Jalen Hyatt or Jonathan Mingo.
Right.
So you're right on the nose with that. I think that it very well could be him. Thanks for the 2, Jack Green. We appreciate that, man.
Hey, in the chat, let us know. Would you guys be pumped if Brett Veach come up the board early tomorrow and took a DeJuan Jones out of Ohio State? That might be nasty to play right tackle.
Well, that fits right in with what Beach is saying here. Guess they didn't like DeJuan Jones.
Ooh, there
Man,
it is.
I think that he would have been a good pick at 31 as well, but I think that Felix probably has better value than DeJuan. I think a lot of people are down on DeJuan Jones because he is so daggone big and just like they feel like maybe he's more Orlando Brown Jr.-ish, like, like kind of big, can't move as well. But I think he'd be a really solid right tackle in my opinion. Bill and Chad, KC Sports Talk, what's going on? Go Chiefs, baby.
Hey, let us know in the chat. Who's a player in round 1 that didn't get picked that you thought was going to be in round 1? I think there was a few for me. I kind of thought we'd see Will Levis get picked, obviously. Dude, why was Brett Veach not working those phones trying to get somebody to come up and take Will Levis? Why didn't we take Will Levis?
Don't act like he wasn't doing it. I guarantee.
Yeah, he was.
I guarantee he was.
If we
doing
would have took Will Levis, how many of you guys would have passed out?
Hey, that would have been a funny move right there. Vladdy Nukes, what's going on, my man? I want to be an Eagles fan right now. The Eagles just don't want us to get Nolan Smith. Man, I'm not big on Nolan Smith for the Chiefs. I do think it would be fun to think about a really fast speed rusher for the Chiefs. We liked Nick Benito last year.
Yeah.
But they're just not going to do it. They're never going to do it. They like what they like as far as edge rushers, and I think Felix fits right into that mold, and he's the best one out of the group that does. So I'm pretty pumped at how that went. The Eagles, they're just taking everybody that plays on Georgia's defense.
They're Georgia Bulldogs North. That's what they are.
It's like they're a bunch of guys that don't really want to do any homework or like look into these guys. So they're like, well, Georgia was the best defense, so let's draft everyone on their defense.
Georgia. Hey, how about that?
Real smart, guys. Let's see. Balti says, I think the Texans are the New York of last year.
Well, yeah, when you start getting multiple picks in the first round, of course, everybody's going to say you have the best draft.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to win the draft when you get like 1 million picks in the first round. Jack Green says, yeah, I lost that Gibbs going at 12. I stunk it up. Man, Gibbs is that good. I've said it over and over again. Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs are one of one. Those are very, very, rare athletes that you see there. And I knew they were not going to fall to us. And I've said over and over again, if they fall to 31, Brett Veach will pull the trigger on one of them 2 guys. There's no doubt about it. And that just shows you that he definitely would have. They were getting taken in the top 12.
Dude, think about it. They had the kid from Georgia playing there in Detroit, didn't they? What's his name? They just drafted him a few years ago.
I don't know.
And then they're going to come up and take Jahmyr Gibbs at 12. Jameer Gibbs is a special talent, man.
Yeah.
Jamal Charles 2.0.
Right. Jylan Harris says quality or quantity. First of all, what's going on, Jylan? Good to see you.
Good to see you, Jylan.
If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. We appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. Make
Smash
sure
the
to
like.
smash that like button, hit that sub button so you can hang out with us more. We like to go live quite often when we can. We're doing Saturday nights, every Saturday night. So if you don't have anything to do on the
To your
weekend,
question, we'll go quality all day.
yeah, for sure. We have a quantity of picks. We have 10 right now, which is a lot of draft capital. We're not going to take 10 picks. I just don't see it. Vladdy says even if they don't draft after round 1, that we still have a good draft. If you're saying if we don't draft anybody,
We just take King Felix and go to the house.
hey, why not? We'll be okay with that. Let's go, Chiefs. Trish, good to see you.
Trish, what's up?
Trish, it's too late. Why are you awake and on YouTube?
Why is anybody awake right
Man.
now? Because Chiefs Kingdom is crazy and we fought for our right to party. We're partying.
Jose, you're stuck at work. That sucks, man. Hopefully we're making it a little bit easier for you.
Yeah.
You can not pay attention to work and just, listen about Chiefs, man.
Look at David flexing on us. It's only 9:45 in Arizona. David, you know what? I should move to Arizona.
That's awesome. Chiefs Kingdom from the California Bay Area. What's going on, Crispy? Good to
What's
see
up,
you.
Crispy?
I haven't seen you here before. Welcome.
Holding it down in the Bay Area.
William says this is just a first round. No one won the draft yet. That's
100%.
exactly right. I can guarantee you from the track record, Brett Beach could very well still win this draft with a pick like Felix Anudike-Uzomah in the first round. That is just super smart and super solid. He didn't try to do anything crazy. Everybody was sitting around being like, dude, he's going to do something flashy. He's going to do something flashy. Well, I think he took the smart route. He took the hometown kid, so he got the reaction, and he's a solid player that I think they wanted from day one to begin with. So I really like it. And, hey, just like we said, there could be a trade up for Jalen Hyatt or Josh Downs or something like that tomorrow. Make a splash in the second round. Also, keep that ear open for that D-Hop trade. That is not out of the question yet.
Look at us baiting D-Hop at 12:51 a.m., people. It's still going. It never ends.
Right. Stacy says, I'm looking from Dallas, Texas. That's awesome.
Stacy, what's up?
Yeah, good to see you here. Balti lives in Mississippi. I think I'm the only Chiefs fan here.
Mississippi, I'm putting it on the map.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're getting the map out, and I'm putting you down.
If you guys haven't been here before, Mike keeps a map, and once we get somebody from the map, we're trying to cover all the states. So
Yeah,
I
Mississippi,
think Mississippi was a good one. Cole says, what wide receiver do you think will be there for us in the second or third round? There's a lot. There's so many. I'm not worried about wide receiver at this point. I wasn't surprised to see a run of wide receivers in the first round. Everybody kept saying, oh, they're not.
I called that one.
Mike absolutely called it. As soon as Jackson Smith and Jigba went off the board, he said, here comes a run. There's going to be like 4 straight.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. So pretty cool. So just to answer your question, though, we said, look for a trade up for Jalen Hyatt or Josh Downs.
Yep.
Also, if they want to sit back and wait, you got your Trey Palmer, your Charlie Jones, your Tank Dell. There's so many. I'm not worried about that wide receiver.
You also have Mingo and Cedric Tillman.
Right.
You got them both. Also, Rashee Rice, dark horse name coming in.
Right. Jan said I'm still kind of hoping for Yaya. Yeah, Yaya Diaby is a man.
Yaya would be sweet.
And we can't have too many good edge rushers. So I mean, if we were to double dip and get another edge rusher, imagine getting an athlete like Yaya Diaby to go along with someone polished like Felix. And then you still got GK in there, who's going to be in his sophomore year here. I think he's going to actually progress, kind of look to how Nick Bolton got better in his second season as opposed to having that sophomore slump. I think GK is going to do the same thing. So I'm super excited about that. Chiefs fan says, I want Jonathan Mingo in the second round. Man.
Would love it.
Yeah.
Would love it.
Not a bad pick at all.
Hey, how surprised are you guys that Joey Porter Jr., cornerback, went to round 2? That's a pretty crazy slide. Steve kept thinking we were going to pull the trigger on Joey Porter right there.
He's so good. It would have been a good pick, but I'm like, we can't do this cornerback thing again, right? But I had this like weird gut feeling like, yeah, maybe we can. Maybe Brett Veach is the guy that would do such a thing.
Hey, I think with taking King Felix, it only knocks a few players off the board. I think that eliminates Keon White. I think Keon White's now eliminated for the Chiefs. I think B.J. Ojulari's probably out with the Chiefs. And then there's another pass rusher. I was trying to think of him off the top of my head. Derek Hall. I think Derek Hall's out now. I don't think you'll see him drafted. I think Derek Hall kind of is a smaller guy. I think Felix was the edge setter that they wanted. So I think those are the only 3 out. I think anybody else is still in play at this point.
Absolutely, for sure. Super Devil Juice says is Benton a possibility. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
We had him as one of our dark horse first round picks was Keanu Benton because the Chiefs do love him and he's really good. And they actually reported that he was flying up the draft board. So that was kind of our dark horse pick for the first round. What's going on, Harry? Good to see you, man.
Harry, what's up?
Great pick, great fit. Harry knows what he's talking about. He's good when we talk about football.
Harry, who we taking in round
stuff.
2? Harry, I'm going to listen to you. Who we taking in round 2, bro?
Yeah, Harry knows what's going on. So, yeah, if he thinks it's a great fit, you better too. German, great. What's going on? Who's Cole?
He's just talking to Cole.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'd have to lose about 100 pounds to be the one from How About Those Chiefs and dye my beard red. But, okay, I see he's talking to another guy in the chat.
Travis sets up D-Hop trade?
Yeah, dude, possibility.
Possibly.
Don't rule it out. That's for sure.
Hey, but I tell you, the Bills are being aggressive. We seen the Bills come up and take Dalton Kincaid.
That was a really good pick by them.
That was a good move by the Bills.
It's kind of damning for the Chiefs, to be honest, because that's just another weapon in Josh Allen's arsenal. He is Travis Kelce as far as receiving goes for a tight end. Obviously, you can't say he's going to be as good as Travis Kelce because that's kind of hard to say somebody's going to be the best tight end ever to play football. But he definitely has those traits and those skills. So there's a possibility he could be close.
Who was the team they were reporting before the draft, Steve, that said they were working on getting D-Hop? It was a team that hadn't even been talked about at this point. Was it it was somebody to go with C.J. Stroud, the Texans or somebody?
I don't remember.
It wasn't the Texans.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah, Cole says the safety branch. I'm surprised he is still there. Yeah, we were too. Also one of those people where I was like, man, him and Joey Porter Jr., I could see Veach being that guy that took 25 defensive backs last year and still being stubborn enough to take another one in the first round here just because the value's there. But he passed on him. So
But this is why. I think it's because he could play the slot as well, and we don't need that. Now that we have McDuffie coming in and shutting that down on lock, I don't think you need that from him. So he's just not a big hitter on the back end as much.
For sure. Jack says, wow, we got 140 people in here. That's right. Thanks you guys for
dude.
being here. It's super late. So we appreciate you guys coming to hang out with All Chiefed Up and talk about this draft.
Dude,
and
smash the like.
hit that like button if you don't care. It just takes a second. And if you're new here, welcome. We just try to build a good community here where we can all get together and talk about the Chiefs and have a good time. If you're a fan of another team, that's okay too, as long as you're not being crazy. As long as you can be respectful, we're cool with that
join
as
us
well.
tomorrow. We're live streaming the whole second and third rounds tomorrow.
Absolutely.
It's going to be wild, dude.
Go ahead and smash that sub button if you're new here and you want to hang out some more. Let's see here. I know Felix personally has hella strict Nigerian parents that made him work hard nonstop. He's a dog. That's awesome, man. I think Felix does have a really good work ethic. You kind of see that with him. He seems like a high character kid. He looks like he puts a lot of work into his craft. So I think that's why he's as good as he is.
Hey, by the way, Will Levis not getting drafted. He's been doing the Lord's work. He's been tipping picks to us all night long in the green room.
Yeah.
So
Mike was on it. Like we kept finding out who the picks were, 3 minutes before they were announced on
it's
television.
Will Levis. He's tipping picks as soon as he goes. But if he don't go tomorrow, you guys can tune in here. We'll tell you picks before.
He looks really sad on TV, but they're just catching him at the right times. He looked like he's having a pretty good time. He had a different chick with him every time we saw him.
Swapping girls. It can't be too bad.
He's
man.
going to have a good night regardless, ain't that right? Chief Kelsey, what's going on, my man? Good to see you. I believe pretty big move up in tomorrow in the second round. Absolutely. That's what we were saying. Be on the lookout for that. Brett Veach is going to move up these boards, and second round is ideal.
Dude.
I mean, there's still a lot of talent on the board.
Chiefs Kingdom's heads are going to explode if we trade up tomorrow and take a Jalen Hyatt. You know it's going to be lit out there, dude.
Absolutely.
Hey, if anybody's going tomorrow, let us know in the chat. That's going to be awesome.
Cobra Kai with a
20
bomb, baby. We appreciate that, man. That helps us tremendously, so thank you for that. Says happy with our pick, hometown, and for sure position need for us. Total trust in everything Veach does. He's earned that for sure. So far,
we love Veach, man.
You have to trust Veach. I mean, everybody obviously gets tired of hearing the whole, in Veach we trust, in Veach we trust when we're trying to talk football, because that's what people that don't, dig in say. They go to it by default. But there is some truth to that. You have to trust the guy. He's earned it.
That's why I throw these up. These are V's, not peace signs. Veach.
Oh, Doug, what's going on, my man? Good to see you. We're doing good, man.
Doug, what's up, brother?
Talking about the draft and having fun.
Young Crazy's in the house.
Yeah, what's up, man? Good to see you too. Trey Palmer in the third round would be a lovely pick for the Chiefs.
Sweet.
I mean, this dude, if you go watch his tape, he was good at LSU. He was good at Nebraska. This dude's always open. Kind of like if you watch Jordan Addison tape. He was just always open all the time. Trey Palmer was kind of like that. He's always wide open. And he's just really, really fast. I think he's got like game-breaking speed, like a 4.3 40-yard dash. And the dude can do several different things. He high points the ball. He can make contested catches, but he's also really good in the screen game. If you watch his tape, he can break a screen pass for 30, 40, 50 yards for a touchdown at any given time. So perfect in an Andy Reid offense.
Hey, I tell you what, too, guys. Straight up, looking at this draft board, with players like Will Levis, Michael Mayer, Joey Porter, all these guys falling, Brian Branch, that means more good players are falling to the Chiefs there late.
Right.
So we may not even have to trade up as far as we want to get some of these guys because these guys are going to get picked at the top. You're going to even see Hendon Hooker get picked in the top 10 to 15 picks tomorrow, I think. That's a pretty good indication that he's going to go pretty early too. So
Right.
it's possible there's going to be some good players falling to us because so many good players fell out of the first round.
Let's see. Beach says Keyshawn Boutte in the third, maybe.
The LSU boy.
Not happening. I don't think so. I think that he ruined his draft stock by being a bum. He's just lazy. He don't put a lot of work in. And he went from being the top wide receiver in college football to being absolutely just not on anyone's he's not on anyone's radar, in my opinion.
Yeah, he went to the combine and stunk it up, too. So, I mean, I don't think he's bad to take a shot on, but in round 3, I think that's a little rich. I think maybe late round 4, round 5, I would be okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only, he can be good. It's just, will he put the work in?
Right.
Red Hood Chief, what's going on?
What's
Good
up,
to
Red
see
Hood?
you. Flex and Felix and Furious George are going to wreck O-Lyman this year. Trade up in the second to get Joey Porter and then Mingo, Tillman, or Perry. Call it a mother trucking draft.
We're trading up
Hey,
to Joey
baby.
Porter, baby.
I wouldn't be mad at that at all. Joey
That's
Porter
insane.
is that good of an athlete. I think that he could be an amazing corner in the league. I wouldn't be mad at it. And then if you hang around, you get Mingo or Tillman or Perry. Our Pops is huge on A.T. Perry. He loves A.T. Perry. He's done mocked him to the Chiefs 1,500 times
A.T.
since
Perry.
draft season started. So I wouldn't be mad at none of that. Let's see. Stupid Noah. What's going on, Noah? How you doing? Missed opportunity not to trade up for a wide receiver in late teens or decent OT. Mahomes deserves a legit wide receiver 1. Noah, we don't disagree with you that Mahomes needs a legit wide receiver 1. He's never really had one per se. Even when Hill was here, he wasn't that guy like a D-Hop or something like that. He was just, Hill's one of one. He had that game-breaking speed. So, I mean, it wasn't like your prototypical X receiver. Mahomes does deserve that. But I don't think they missed an opportunity per se because I think that actually there was not that many wide receivers I thought were worthy of a first round pick to be honest. And I feel like a lot of reaching was done right there in a row because everybody got panicky, and that's fine.
Hey, there were some other channels that really love like Jordan Addison. I wouldn't have.
No.
Jordan Addison at 31, I'd have been fine with. But if we'd have traded up for Jordan Addison, I don't think that was a hit. Zay Flowers even, he's got the potential. You know what I mean? Like. I tweeted out, he caught passes last week from Patrick Mahomes. He's going to go catch passes from a running back, Lamar Jackson. That dude's going to hate life here in about 2 weeks when he goes to camp or whenever they report, you know.
John Usher quit playing with us. Everybody knows they took King Felix in the first. They had a party about it. Hey, Beach says Keely Ringo in the second to play.
That'd be sweet.
That'd be an amazing pick too, man. You couldn't get mad at that. Nick says great Chiefs community here for sure. Great live chats here too. Hey, thanks, Nick. Good to see you back, man. Yeah, we just try to have a good time. This is for all Chiefs fans. It don't matter if you've been a Chiefs fan for 60 years, you've been a Chiefs fan for a month. We don't care. We're just going to talk about the Chiefs and have a good time. It don't matter where you're from. We just want everybody to have a good time here and get to talk Chiefs in the chat and just have a good time. So we appreciate that. Doug says Veach in the second and third round always seems like we get some gems. Yeah. Nothing, dude. He's the best at it.
This is first round is always ran by the Eagles GM because he trades and he does crazy stuff.
Takes
and
everyone from Georgia.
Round 2 through 7, Beach works his magic. It's the wizard magic, and Beach is going to show him up for the rest of the draft, guaranteed.
Bankroll says that Cam Smith is more of a fit than
That's what
Porter.
I say.
Yeah, he also thinks that too. I think that Porter's probably better. I mean, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's a little better.
But the fit, you could be right about that. Balti, no, Felix was not at the draft. He was actually at his home in Lee Summit, which is weird that he was right up the road, but wasn't there. But they only invite people they think that are for sure going to get drafted in the first round usually. So.
And then maybe his family couldn't go. Some people just want to spend it with their family.
Right. Like we actually had Kalijah Cansey on the show about 2 weeks ago, and they didn't even invite him to the draft.
Yeah.
And he ended up going, what, like
Number
19 to the
and
Bucs?
he wasn't invited.
So that's crazy that they do that kind of thing.
Hey,
But
cool to see him staying in Florida, though. We really like Kalijah Cansey. We were kind of hoping he fell, but I still think they'd have went with King Felix if they'd have both been on the board. I think they were shooting for the hometown kid.
right, Ghost Rider, what's going on? Mahomes needs a defense that can stay off the field. Wide receivers are a dime a dozen under Andy. You're not completely wrong with that. But the wide receivers are a dime a dozen thing with Andy. It's not false, but at the same time, I don't necessarily like that logic because I think that Patrick Mahomes is such a great talent. He's the best quarterback to ever step on a football field. Why are we making him do things that he shouldn't have to do? Like, get this guy a solid number one receiver, somebody he can rely on. He shouldn't be having to elevate everybody else's game on the field. He should have people around him elevating him and making him even better than he already is.
Right.
So you're not wrong, but I don't like the logic just because of that. You don't want to end up with an Aaron Rodgers situation where, 8 years down the road, Patrick Mahomes is like, dude, y'all never get me anybody.
Yeah, right.
I have to make everyone better. I have to make Albert Wilson, Tyreek Hill all the time. And it's starting to get really annoying.
Stupid Noah. What a comment. Did you see how sad Johnson was that he got drafted by the Chargers? LMAO. It was priceless.
I don't blame him.
Dude, I tell you what, though, that's a stacked looking wide receiver room there that Justin Herbert gets to throw to. Like, straight up. I wish we would have got Emmanuel Forbes, says Blizzard, Steve, right there.
Yeah, I was a big Emmanuel Forbes fan. He's just a ball hawk, but he's a little thin. He's not going to get too physical on that press coverage and stuff. So I think he's more of a zone guy.
A little bit.
So
He will play press. He does play press. He plays it pretty well, but I think his fit. That's why the Commanders took him, by the way. I kind of thought the Commanders were going to go Deontay Banks. I kind of thought Forbes' spot was right around 31. So, I mean, I think they reached on him a little
Right.
bit, but we'll see.
Yeah, Mark Murray. What's up, Mark? I love the pick. Felix and George are going to be a nightmare for teams. Dude, if not in the first year, give it some time. These two are going to be great players. I think they're alike in the fact that they put a lot of work in and they have a high motor and they just want to be good. So, I mean, that's the best trait for these. That's something that Brett Veach has been doing the last few years and people don't realize. It kind of flies under the radar. He keeps finding these guys with an amazing work ethic, with a high character, someone who's got something to prove, someone who has a chip on their shoulder. He wants people that want to get out there, work hard, and win. And so far, it's paying off for him huge having that strategy.
Right.
And I think Felix fits right into that, so that's pretty cool.
What's up, Rich?
Rich, how you doing, man? Seemed like it took forever to get 31. Yeah, it sure did.
It always does, man. It always does.
It sure did. That's crazy, but or it's over now. We've been waiting forever for this first round, and it's finally done. Noah says, "Thank you, Mahomes does too much at times. A wide receiver one actually protect him." Yeah, I mean There's two things that you really want to do when you have a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, who's the best ever. I'm just gonna say it. Like Tom Brady, he's got the most rings. Tom Brady's Bill Russell. Patrick Mahomes is Michael Jordan. I've said it time and time again. You've got a guy like that on your team. First of all, you want to invest in the offensive line. You want to keep him on, off of his back. You want to make sure he's healthy all the time. So anytime we invest in the O-line, you can't be mad. And then B, like we were saying earlier, you can't always rely on him to lift everybody up around him. Get him some help sometimes. Make him even better. Jan with the 20 ball.
What's up, Jan?
Jan, you're awesome. She's been supporting since day one, always helping us out. We appreciate you. It's amazing.
I looked up Charlie Jones. That guy you said to go check out here reminds me of Julian Edelman.
He's got some Edelman vibes, but I think he's a better athlete than Edelman overall.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
We all think Edelman. We'll just say he's a white wide receiver. It's Edelman. It's Edelman.
What comes to mind?
It's Edelman.
No, but for real, I think that Charlie Jones is a little bit more than Edelman. Just for the simple fact that I think he's actually faster than Edelman, if I'm not mistaken. And then he's also a guy that gets a lot of contested catches, jump balls, things like that. He's going to be really good, and I would love to see the Chiefs grab him later on. I actually have him in my final mock. I was taking him in the fifth round maybe?
Chiefs fan says he loves Charlie Jones.
Yeah, Charlie Jones is legit, guys. If you have not seen Charlie Jones before, wide receiver for Purdue, Go after this and just check out some of his highlights. The man can play.
You're in the area where he went to college. He went to college at Iowa before he transferred to Purdue. So you guys got to know Charlie Jones a little bit.
Right. Bankroll says, think Felix going to be with Tamba Hali like George? Yeah, I think so too.
Probably.
They all have that similar, just will to be good and will to win. And I think they're all kind of similar players.
Yeah. And I think he's asking if he's going to train with Tamba like George did. Yeah, I think so too. I think he could. Somebody says Tank Dale. Scott.
You can't overlook Tank Dale either.
Dude, that's a dark horse round 2, round 3 pick.
Right. The only problem is his age. He's going to
Yeah.
be 25. So.
He's going to be 25. I mean, I'd love to be 25 again, but in football years, that's like 80. So who knows?
You're right. Forbes is pretty small.
Forbes is lanky, man. I thought it was a big reach, and it was kind of weird that Bieniemy did it up there too because I don't know. I just think they're going to drop him into a zone. I think he's going to play more zone.
All right. What do you guys think about Bergeron or Witt?
Boy, we have a love-hate relationship with Bergeron, and it's pretty much we love to hate him. He holds. I don't love him, but I could see the Chiefs taking him in round 2. It wouldn't surprise me. That's kind of what they do. They actually talk to him. Witt, I've not dug in too much film on Witt, but what I have seen so far, I do like him. I think he anchors well. So, yeah, Bergeron or Witt. I mean, I'd be pleased with him. I just think Bergeron's I think it falls off a cliff after DeJuan Jones. Let's be honest. I think you got DeJuan Jones, and then Bergeron's way below him. And some people say DeJuan Jones wasn't even worth a top 40 pick, and he didn't get drafted in the first round. So we'll see.
Right. Jack says, well, chat, I'm old. I've got to go to bed. Hey, thanks for being here, Jack.
Thanks for being here, Jack.
Get some rest, man. It was a good day. Tomorrow should be exciting. But, yeah, we're probably only going to be on here for about another 5 to 10. So if you got some questions, get those questions in real quick. I think right now predictions for round 2, since I had Isaiah Foskey going in round 2, I don't think they're going to double dip this early on defensive end. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go with what we had as dark horse picks, and that's either a trade up for Jalen Hyatt or Jonathan Mingo. I think it'll be one of those two things. Mike, are you sticking with who you had in the second round?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with Cam Smith. I think if he's there, the value's too good to pass up. But then again, he could get taken, obviously. There's been a lot of corners off the board so far. I'll go through and count them. I think there's been at least 1, 2, 3. We've had 4 or 5 corners go off the board. Dude, I thought it was kind of crazy. Pick number 5, the Seahawks were getting trade offers like crazy, and they just sit there and took Devin Witherspoon.
Crazy.
Shows how much Devin Witherspoon was valued.
I mean, he's really good.
That kid's good, man.
Chiefs fan says, I'd like KC to draft Cody Mock. Hey, let me tell you, I think he's a guy that people are forgetting about. Like, I think he could be just as good as a lot of these other guys that went in the first round. I think that Cody Mock could be really good.
Yeah, Cody Mock's good. He can play anywhere along the line. Andy Reid them love that. So
Bankroll wanted Nolan, but not mad about it. Yeah, Nolan just don't fit, and I just knew they wouldn't take him. It's just because they never go for that speed.
Hey,
rusher.
Nolan was sliding because of his size.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of guys had him off the board. He's a tweener. He can't put his hand in the dirt. He's not going to anchor the run very well. He's just a specialty stand up on the outside as a linebacker and blitz over and over and over. And I mean, in the NFL, if a tackle could get their hand on him, they're going to crush him. So I think that's why he slipped a little bit. Could he still be good? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, for sure. Amani, how you doing? What do y'all think about our draft pick? Love it. I think it was a win.
It was an A.
Yeah, I'd give it an A. I mean, our first mock draft, our official mock draft for the Chiefs 1.0, we said Felix Anudike-Uzomah in the first round. And you know what? If we wouldn't have
we outthought ourselves. We ourselves. We got too cute. I actually took Adebawore, which was King Felix's defensive tackle. So I took K-State. I just took the wrong guy.
No. Adebawore played at Northwestern, son.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. The milk. It's the milk. But anyways, yeah, I decided to go defensive tackle. I don't know. I should have stuck with King Felix. I should have stuck with King Felix.
Will the Chiefs keep 6 or 7 receivers on the 53-man roster? 6 is usually where they're hanging out at.
Probably.
I doubt they'll do 7. Only if they think that, they have to for some reason or another. Like there's somebody they don't want to put on the practice squad because they're afraid they'll get poached or something like that, then they might keep 7, but I highly doubt it. Usually 6 is that number.
If we take more than 1 in this draft, you're going to see Justin Ross. You're going to see Justin Watson. Those two are going to be on the cut line along with Richie. So you start taking a lot of wide receivers, you're not cutting them. So you got to get really close there.
Chief Kelsey said, good job, guys. 8.35 subs, but I'm sure only going up when you keep doing the good work. Well, we appreciate that, man. We try to give you guys as good of content as we can and just build a good community here.
We wanted to get to 10K by the end of draft weekend. I don't think it's going to happen.
No.
But I'll tell you what. We give it a good run, man. We give it a good run.
We did. We weren't expecting to get this many subs at all. So, I mean, it's not a big deal to have that many, but I do want to get over that 10K hurdle. Yeah. I feel like that's just somewhere I want to be. So if you guys can help with that, tell your friends, share our channel with people. Anything helps.
Lewis
awesome.
says ESPN is giving the Chiefs a D for the draft pick. Well, you know what? We give ESPN a D.
Well, That's the thing about it. Does it surprise you this is the same network that had a million people on there saying the Chiefs were going to suck last year, that they weren't going to win the AFC West? They love to hate on the Chiefs, and I guess they love being, looking like fools later on. It's the only thing I can
It's
think.
pick 31. What were we going to do? Like,
Excellent pick for pick
Hey,
31.
yeah,
You
come
got
on.
first round value at a second round pick. More than, pretty much that's how you would sum that up.
I'm going to give you an inside scoop, too. Those guys on TV, they know those picks before they come in, by the way. They got earpieces that tell them the pick. So when they're acting like Mel Kiper picks,
Yeah.
Mel Kiper knows what that pick is.
Will Levis would tell us
So don't-
what was going on, and then all of a sudden, that's who they would be talking
Yeah,
about.
Will Levis is like, hey, man, they're taking Emmanuel Forbes. Then all of a sudden, here comes Emmanuel Forbes up, and they're like, we think Emmanuel Forbes is a good pick.
We knew, yeah.
Shut up. Nobody thought Emmanuel Forbes was going
Somebody
16.
letting them guys know what's going on so they sound smart on TV. So take that with a grain of salt when you think that Mel Kiper's really, really good, because we watched it happen.
Salty Place
real
says
fast.
y'all deserve 50. We deserve $50. Wait, or
50K.
50K. Oh, I'll take it.
Man, that'd be cool. We'll take it.
Oh, somebody says 1,000.
That's him. He said 50,000.
50,000.
I just hope this isn't Breland Speaks. Bankroll, I would bet you every dime in my bank account that it's not Breland Speaks.
He's got to be better than
Yeah.
Speaks. Bro, we could have took the homeless guy sitting on the corner at, Union Station. He's better than Breland Speaks.
Absolutely.
So come on.
They're saying Felix would have been available in the 4th or 5th round. That's
No
the
way.
stupidest thing I've ever heard.
No
Whoever
way.
said that has no idea what's going
Dude,
on.
please link it up. Send us something. We want to make a video about that and roast that dude. There is no way Felix is lasting.
You have to literally know nothing about football to think that King Felix was going to be a 4th or 5th
Bro,
round
is this
pick.
an NBA analyst or something? Like, there's no way. No way.
Insane. David House says, well, we could have picked Cody Mauch. We were just talking about him. Loved him. I think that he's very underrated. People don't talk about
He's
him
a
enough.
day 2 guy. He's a day 2 guy.
But yeah, I think he would be a really good pick in day 2. Like, I think he could be really good.
Yeah. Yeah, day 2, day 3 even. I could see him slipping out of the second too, unless the team falls in love with him.
Right. Doug says, are you gentlemen surprised about Will not being drafted yet, but think he's gone real soon in the second? Honestly,
100%.
yeah, I'm a little surprised about it, but at the same time, I'm not.
But we're not, because we're Kentucky fans and we've seen him play, Steve. And
Yeah.
Will Levis, he's got all the intangibles. He had a bad offensive line. I get it. So he's getting hit over and over and over again. But it seemed like every time he had to put the team on his back and go get that big SEC win, he'd turn the ball over. He'd fumble. He'd throw a pick. He'd just come up short in the clutch. And I think that's Will Levis's problem.
Well, that's why he's a really good comp for him is Josh Allen, because he's got all the tools to be an amazing quarterback. But, man, Will, you just got to get over that hurdle, man. And I think that's what hurt him here, because I honestly thought the Colts were going to target him at pick 4. Is really what I thought was going to happen. So it's probably a little disheartening for him, but at the same time, I don't think he cares that much. Like, I mean, he's still going to be a good quarterback in the NFL, so it's hard to be mad at that at the end of the day. Mo says, you think Felix would have been available at 63? No, I do not.
No,
I think if we didn't take Felix there, he was going to go in the next 8 picks, probably.
Oh, yeah. Felix was, here, let me bring up my big board for you. Steve, you can read another question. I'll find it.
Yeah, Cobra Kai says, aren't you guys doing memberships now? I could have sworn I've seen that on the last few videos. We are. We actually do have memberships. If you go to our actual YouTube page, it's our homepage there, it'll say join. Just go click on that, and you can join at whatever tier you want to do. There's 3 tiers. Starts at $4.99 for the Matt Castle tier, and then there's the Alex Smith tier at $9.99, and then the Patrick Mahomes tier at $24.99. So whatever fits your needs there, go for it, man. We'd love to have you as a member. We're trying to grow our memberships as well, so we can do some really cool things. Members only live streams. We want to get with you guys and really build this thing together and just have a good time.
Steve, I found my big board. Our big board, we had Felix Anudike-Uzomah rated 31. One above Keon White, and he went pick 31. So he went right on the money.
Yeah,
we
for
called
sure.
it. Now, we had above him, we've got Levis, Mayer, Porter, John Michael Schmitz, and Brian Branch. But those are all the guys we thought would have got picked in the first round, and they didn't.
Right. David says he also likes KSU running back Darren Sproles Jr. He's talking about Deuce Vaughn.
Deuce
Vaughn, a lot of teams are going to avoid him like the plague because he's just too damn little to play in the NFL. Let's be honest about it. It's going to be very tough for him to find a role. But if he's going to find a role, it's going to be in an Andy Reid offense. I think he can come into the Chiefs and seamlessly take over that receiving back role like Jerick McKinnon, but you're not going to get the pass protection that Jerick McKinnon offered for Patrick Mahomes either with Deuce Vaughn, because he couldn't, let's be real, he couldn't stop a fly that was trying to get to Patrick Mahomes.
Well,
so.
the other day, a little inside info, Deuce Vaughn did had a 2-hour meeting with some of the Chiefs coaching staff.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
if we take a flyer on him in round 5 on, I would maybe think he could last a UDFA too because of his size. Who knows?
Yeah. Nick, he says he hopes we pick Cody Mock. Yeah, I would not be mad at that because we do need some offensive line help.
Yeah.
Cody Mock is going to be good. He rated really high. Actually, he's probably the most athletic, I think.
Pretty
at the
athletic.
combine. Pull that up. Pull up his combine stuff. I think Cody Mock was the most athletic guy as far as offensive lineman went. And then on top of that, I think he scored pretty high with PFF for the season. So I mean, this dude can produce for sure. So I'm pretty high on Cody Mock. I wouldn't be mad at all if we got him in the second round.
Watch out, dark horse pick there at the end of the second round. Could be Tyler Steen, man. He
Yeah.
does the same thing out of Alabama.
Yeah.
We've met with him a few times.
That's a good one too.
He's a swing tackle. He can play guard.
Noah says Veach trade third or fourth to cards for D-Hop. How likely at this point? I would say, I hate to say it, but I'm still at 50-50 on that. I think that it very well could be coming. But like Mike said earlier, the Bills have been super aggressive as well. We do know that the Cardinals are willing to deal. D-Hop don't want to be there. Hillman, Kyler Murray don't get along. So I think it'll be very telling what goes on in the second round. He's not worth the second round pick flat out. So the only thing I could think of is that the Chiefs give up their second rounder and trade back and like take the Arizona Cardinals third round or something like that if they have one.
Look, Arizona
I
has
just don't
picked,
see it.
Arizona has picked 2 and 3 coming up. Back-to-back picks there in the second round. And, I mean, they still need some defense, man. They don't have any defensive line. They don't have J.J. Watt. They lost another one in free agency.
And with that in mind, if you see them take a receiver or something right here, that's very telling about what's going to happen.
Guys, they was to pull the trigger on somebody like a Jalen Hyde or a Josh Downs, you know, maybe even a Mingo, because a Mingo's kind of like the D-Hop size and everything. So you'll see it. But if they sit there and they take like a Keon White or something, because they need that defensive line, defensive interior, then it's pretty likely that they'll probably end up keeping D-Hop.
Right. Ty, sweet, Mahomes tier it is. That'd be awesome, man. We appreciate you.
That'd be awesome, dude. We appreciate it.
Heck yeah, we're trying to build these memberships up, man. So Balsy says he loves the tier names. Yeah, dude, we thought it was pretty funny, actually.
Dude.
I mean, no diss to Matt Castle completely, but he's definitely the low tier.
We didn't want to give you guys the Brody Croyle or the Tyler Palco.
we didn't want you guys to have to take the Tyler Palco
You're not
name.
taking the Palco. You're Matt Castle. I mean, come on. Matt Castle could have been good if we had had an offensive line for him.
Doug, he's asking what time we're going to go live stream for round 2.
We'll have to check. Let me check and see what time they start live tomorrow, and we'll tell you guys.
You're ahead of us, Doug. We're not prepared. But no, we will be going live. I don't know what time they're kicking it off tomorrow. So it'll definitely depend on that. We will let you know in just a minute, though. So,
it starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. So we'll probably jump on at like 6:45.
Yeah.
6:30, 6:45, something like that. We'll probably try to get on. And I mean, if you jump on at 7 right on the dot, we're going to be here. And we're going to tip picks. As long as Will Levis is in the green room, we're tipping picks.
We'll let you know,
so
baby.
Get here and we're going to tell you who gets picked. If Will Levis gets picked, I can't
There's
promise
not a
we'll tip
green
pick.
room in round 2, son, but we can still.
Will Levis will sit there until he gets picked.
Yes, looking real sad with his 4 girlfriends.
That boy going to be in Union Station with 5 women. He's going to leave with more women than contract.
Lewis says he don't see D-Hop coming to KC. I think it's a coin flip, man. It's a coin flip. He very well could. He very well could not. It's just really, no one knows.
Brian Seacrest.
Exactly.
I thought they said Ryan Seacrest. I bet you get that a lot, and I'm sorry. Good to have you here, Brian. We love him. Felix Anudike-Uzomah was our 31st ranked player. We picked him 31. He was the next pass rusher up on our board. I think the kid's got talent, man. We loved him as a pass rusher. He's polished.
Nick says he don't want D-Hop bad enough to give up anything. Honestly, there's so much stuff that has to go on in the back end for this D-Hop trade to actually work. One, it would be Chris Jones, a restructure, extension. So I'm kind of rooting for the D-Hop trade because I want to extend Chris Jones. I want to get that restructured. I want him to be a Chief for life. So that would kill one bird there. Let's see. And then also we'd get that X receiver. Man, I'd give a 4th rounder. I'd give one of the 4th rounders if I absolutely had to. 6th is ideal.
Right.
But if I had to do it and they said you could have D-Hop and you're going to, he will sign a decent contract with you. He's not asking for the house. And I think that I would do the 4th rounder.
David, you're right. The Cards did lose one of those picks. They have round 2, pick 2. They lost pick 3 in the second round. So they did. They lost the 3rd pick, but they'll still pick at the top. So if they pick at the top and they take a Jalen Hyatt or a Mingo, that's pretty good indication they might be moving on from D-Hop. So keep an eye on that one.
Amani says, do people really think Tyree Wilson is a threat to the Chiefs? Like, come on, bro. I'll tell you, I'm right there with you, Amani. I do not think Tyree Wilson is anything special. I didn't even think that he was a top 10 player, in my opinion, at all. Mike, on the other hand, did. So
Weak draft class. I think he's Keon White, but he's a little more athletic than Keon White. So take that with a grain of salt, whatever you think. However good you think Keon White's going to be, just go to Madden and turn it up like 1 or 2 little notches, and that's about it.
Doug says he'll be there. Yeah, man. We better see you tomorrow.
Dude,
we're gonna hold
good.
you to that one, Doug.
Dude, I'm texting Will tonight. We're gonna tip picks. I'm gonna tell him to tell everybody he did something wrong, so they won't pick him for round 3.
He's sitting in that green room overnight with all them girls. He probably is.
Dude, I wouldn't want to leave Union Station if that was my entourage.
Any wide receivers at all worth a round 2 pick in your opinion? Yes, Noah. Absolutely. There's a lot of guys.
So many.
I think that if the Chiefs were to trade up just to get an elite athlete like Jalen Hyatt, I wouldn't be mad at it, even though he's a project.
Trade up for Mingo.
Trade up for Mingo.
I'd be happy. I'd trade up for Josh Downs.
Josh Downs is amazing. Josh Downs had the most sure hands of any wide receiver coming out of this draft. He had the lowest drop rate. And if you go watch his tape in North Carolina, he's very Kadarius Toney-esque, like that kind of a guy.
He's Zay Flowers. If you like Zay Flowers, you're going to love Josh Downs. I'm going to give you another name, though. Cedric Tillman and Tank Dell. Those are 2 more. And then I would almost...
Marvin Mims Jr.
Marvin Mims out of Oklahoma, Jaden Reed, Michigan State, and Michael Wilson from Stanford, I would think is all worth a 2nd-round pick.
I actually have Marvin Mims projected to the Chiefs in the 3rd round. And this guy, he runs a blazing speed. He's a 4.3 40 guy, and that's obviously something that the Chiefs like. Chief Kelsey says D-Hop for the 4th, and Cards take some of the money, calling it now.
Please.
That is exactly what I was saying, man. That is it. Hit the nail on the head with that one.
We'll take that all day.
Yes, sir. David, we could give a higher round pick if Arizona would pick up some of the top
that's
salary.
true too.
Yeah, exactly, man. They're gonna have to.
Dude, it's either that or they're gonna end up cutting him. So get something out of the guy. I mean, come on. Surely Brett Veach ain't sleeping. Brett Veach is in here watching us. As soon as we log off here in about 3 or 4 minutes, Brett Veach is gonna get on the phones. He's gonna make this work. Brett, make it work.
Later, Doug. Glad you came by tonight,
Later,
man. We
Doug.
will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, man.
It'll be fun. Next says I could live with a 4th. Sounds good, actually. I think that's perfect, man. I mean, it would be ideal to give up one of the 6th rounders instead of the 4th rounder, obviously. But, I mean, I would be pretty happy if we were able to get D-Hop. Arizona eat some of that salary. Chris Jones restructure. I mean, that would be amazing. Any Chiefs fan should be ecstatic about that.
Dude, I was hoping when Arizona started moving around the board, losing some of those picks, it kind of knocked off my 31-34 trade that I had come up with the other day, but that's what I was shooting for. Arizona got a little wild today. I thought them and the Texans were going ham, dude. Like they were just trying to trade everybody.
Absolutely. Nick says Mims Jr. is fast. He's super fast. Totally got it's the bells and whistles that Brett Veach and Andy Reid seem to love so much. So, man, we are going to jump off here for the night. We appreciate you guys. I'm going to take one more question real quick from Rich. Not a football question, but Steve, where do you get your tunnels? Been looking for some like that. They are red and gold. I actually bought them because they were Chiefs colors. And honestly, Rich, I think I got them off of Amazon, so I'm not real sure exactly where it was from. So just search red and gold tunnels and see what pops up, man. But we appreciate you guys. Thanks for being with us. We are going to be live for round 2 tomorrow, 6:45 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you get over here with us. Hit that like button on your way out. That helps us out tremendously. And we appreciate you guys. Go Chiefs, baby.
See you guys.